What's up, guitar geeks? Hey, this is my video for the Anthem pedal from Missing Link Audio. Just a little explanation before the song starts that I wrote for the video. I cut some of this video in a hotel room in a suburb of Orlando, Florida, while I was out on the road recently. I used my PT100 plug-in for a clean amplifier platform to plug the pedal into for those parts. And then I cut some of it right here back in my studio. All right, without further ado, here's the song for the Anthem pedal from Missing Link Audio. Ladies and gents, welcome to my video on the Anthem pedal from Missing Link Audio. This is the first video I've made from Missing Link. This pedal, the Anthem, is meant to capture Leonard Skynyrd sort of style guitar tones. So the tones of Rossington and Ed King, and but they make another pedal here. This one's called the Hotlanta, and this one's supposed to capture Allman Brothers kind of guitar tones. So Dickie Betts and Dwayne Allman, that kind of thing. So it's an interesting approach from a company to kind of make pedals that are supposed to capture all the signature tones of a band. There's a 3-position switch here, 1, 2, 3, and on their website it says position 1 is supposed to be like Collins tones, position 2 is supposed to be King and Gaines tones, and position 3 is supposed to be Rossington and more. And in practice I found that switch mainly sort of changes the bright. Okay, so how much bright there is in the pedal, and it really switches up the top end. And that's also just going to make it mate with different amplifiers outside of the fact that it's supposed to capture certain signature tones of certain guitar players. The voice control is also really, really powerful on this pedal. You get a standard like gain, volume, and tone, but then you get this voice control. And that, they say in their ad copies, kind of to switch up the sort of the speaker cabinet voicing, allow you to get more like JBLs or more like other speakers. In my experience, I just found it to be kind of warmer and fatter or something when you back it down, and then the more that I would get it up higher, it got sort of more aggressive and bright and cutting, maybe a little more modern sounding. So like with that voice control all the way up, I could almost get into kind of like modded Marshall tones that are hot and aggressive, and then with it turned down, it was more like maybe like, think like Marshall Super Bass or something like that. It was like a warmer, darker, sort of more earthy tone. Now the pedal's got 2 buttons here because there's a gain boost. So you've got your standard kind of overdrive sound, overdrive level, or it can even be almost like a dirty clean boost, I guess, if you set the gain really low. And then you can kick in the other side here for a boost on top of that to play solos and, you know, parts you want to stand out. Now, in my video, I didn't really try and capture like Leonard Skynyrd tones. I wrote that tune at the beginning, and I tried to do my own thing with it. And certainly I found different switch settings and stuff that I liked, and different settings for the voice control, depending on the tones I was going for in those 4 different guitar parts that I saw in the beginning of the video. So in my video, I'm going to kind of detail the tones that I went after, what I gravitated towards, using both my signature Suhr guitar, some single coil sounds, as well as some humbucking sounds. And then I used my Les Paul to play all the solo stuff. And so I'll detail those sounds as well. And I'll play some more through the pedal. You're going to get a good idea of what the pedal sounds like, I think, at least with my licks and my fingers, by the end of this video. Okay, let's get into it. Alright, so I just cut my first part in this little track I came up with here in my hotel room. I'm finding the most interesting control on the pedal to be this one right here, the voice control. I had it around here actually to cut the part around 2 o'clock or 2:30. So the other controls, let's see, volume is a little past, I would say 10 o'clock. It's got lots of output, this pedal, so if I turn off the pedal and turn it on, you can hear unity seems to be right around 10 o'clock. I got drive around 2 o'clock. And I got the tone control just a little past noon. But the voice, let's check out what this does. It kind of contours the mids and really lets you get different voices out of the pedal, almost as if you were changing cabinets or something. Like you can kind of hear it thick in the mids when I turn it down past noon and just kind of do a different thing. But yeah, I had it up right around 2 o'clock because it seems to just give just the amount of bite that I wanted for this part. The pedal really feels good under the fingers. It definitely has this like tubey thing. They stated in some of their ad copy that, you know, it'll make an amp that's not a tube amp feel like a tube amp, and it does kind of do that. It's got this squishy kind of givey thing to the notes when you play it. And this switch right up here, I think it's like a bright cap. That's what it sounds like to me. I had it in the middle, which is the brightest position, to cut the first part in the song. I'm going to show you what it sounds like when I flip it. The up position is probably the most usable for most folks, I would say, although I like the bright position for that first part that I cut. But that up position just gives a little bit of hair of brightness on top and reminds me of like a 100 picofarad bright cap on an amplifier, on like a Marshall amp. So I think what I'm going to do now is cut a double, actually, to the first guitar part in the song, and I'm going to use slightly different settings. I'm going to use that upper setting. So I just got a lead part, and I'm running into the PT100 clean channel. It sounds like this with no pedal. You know, just the slightest bit of amp grind. Turning on the pedal on the overdrive side. And this is using the switch in the all the way up position, so for just a little bit of bright. Seems about right with my amp. I've got the bright switch on the amp on, and I'm running the treble on the amp on about 5. And this just seems to balance nicely. So you know, mid-rangey, fat overdrive that I've got going. I got the voice on about 2 o'clock, tone straight up, gains on about a little past noon, volume's a little bit below noon. Then I use the boost for this to get a little bit more drive, so sounds like this. And then I went to the neck pickup. It sounds really nice. It's really liquid with that. You know, really soft attack and nice for stuff on the neck pickup if you want a real smooth kind of, I don't know, woman tone? So just for a second with this sound, let's bring the gain up, see what that sounds like for kind of, you know, more sustained. Really smooth. I mean, it's kind of the opposite of what I do a lot, which is like more attack and stuff, but I'm enjoying playing. It's just a different sound. It's almost like a fuzz, a little bit more like a little fuzz face type quality. And I find that that fuzz kind of quality goes away as soon as I turn the boost off. Then it's like overdrive, but for a little bit of like fuzz on top of drive, you hit this on and it kind of has just a 60s kind of like a layered, you know, like sometimes when you ran a fuzz face into a Marshall. Let's just change the voice control up for a second. Well, that's interesting. Now it gets much more kind of like typically modded, almost, you know, 80s sound or something. It's a usable sound too. I mean, it's a little bright there, but I guess then I could just back the tone control with the voice all the way up. Let's see what that sounds like. That's pretty cool high gain right there. It's mid-range rich, but it's pretty cool. Once again, all that distortion is coming from the pedal. So there's a lot of different shades in there to be had, for sure. Hey, thanks for watching my video on the Anthem from the nice folks at Missing Link Audio. Pedal meant to capture all of the Lynyrd Skynyrd style guitar tones, and I found it just to be a great versatile overdrive that I could get everything from warm, fat, kind of mid-gain lead sounds all the way through to actually hot, kind of searing, sustained, almost modded Marshall sounds with the voice control up quite far. So in practice, just a really good solid overdrive meets distortion pedal that'll satisfy a lot of different players looking for everything from crunch all the way through to boosted high gain. You can check it out further, that link down there in the video description below. Click down there and it'll take you to more information about the Anthem. Thanks for watching, you guys. I am Pete Thorn. Take care. Over and out.